Hello everyone, welcome back. Severt is here, coming back with part 2 of What If Deku Had a Race. Now, where we last left off, Izuku has gone into the entrance exam of UA, and after defeating robots and, getting some points, he see a girl that under a rubble about to get crushed by the zero pointer. Izuku looking at her, the girl tried to use her quirk but to make the rubble on her leg start floating, which is it's Oraka of course. But it didn't work as she starts screaming saying why my quirk not working, and after that Izuku come and destroy the rubble uh, on her by using his leg, because his quirk giving him a little bit of enhancement body, which is he can train. And after getting her out of here, she tried to thank him, but he told her that if she want to thank him, then become stronger, because if you want to become a hero, you need to save people, not being needed to be saved, or something like that. Watch the last part and you will understand. And All Might told Principal Nezu told Izuku Midoriya to come into his office as Izuku meet with Aizawa and All Might. All Might offered him one for all, but I asked you guys if you want him to get one for all or not. Well, no one answered me, so after a little bit of thinking, I decided that he won't gonna get it. Why? Well, easy. If he can just delete everyone quirk for a couple of minutes, then why should have one for all? You may think that he should have it for a little bit of power or something, but he have a slightly enhancement body, so I don't see the need of one for all. And if he actually get it, it will be just so OP. And we cut into Izuku in the next day, getting ready to go into UA in his first day. As his mom said, well, have a good day, Izuku, at UA. As Izuku said, thanks, mom. And Inko told him, Izuku, didn't you forget something? As Izuku said, what is it? As Inko puts Izuku's sunglasses on his face and kisses him on the cheek, saying, you don't want to erase anyone quirk by accident, don't you? As Izuku smiled and said, thank you, mom. Well, I'm leaving, Inko said. Good day, Izuku. And after Izuku leave, he got into UA and started looking around, trying to find 1A. And before he got into the class, a kid with a blonde hair and a weird look on his face saying, oh, look at you. Are you searching for 1A? That means you are one of UA student, huh? 1A class student, huh? You think you're better than us, don't you? Just because you got into class 1A? People like you disgust me. I will show you and show everyone in class 1A that we are 1B are better than you. As Izuku looking at this guy said, what do you want? As he said, what do I want? Well, first of all, let me introduce myself. You can call me Monoma. Nice to meet you. I'm like, it's horrible to meet someone from 1A. But, anyways, I wish for you a horrible day. As Monoma start waving to Izuku and leave him alone. As Izuku said, what the hell is wrong with that kid? Anyways, as Izuku after finding 1A, he said in himself, such a big door. Well, whatever. As he opened the door, the first thing that he see it's something that he really didn't like to see is Katsuki Bakugo, with a blue-haired boy that he just chopping his hand in the air, scolding Bakugo, as Izuku in his mind said, "Great, Bum Bum Boy is here." As Ida is talking with Bakugo, telling him, "Bakugo, Katsuki Bakugo, you should not disrespect the school. This desk that you are right now sitting in, maybe a hero that we all know has sitting on it one day. What am I saying? Has one day was sitting in your place and learning here. So how about you take your legs off the desk?" As Bakugo said, "Shut up, Four Eyes. I won't gonna take orders from you extra." As after that, he looked at the door, seeing a kid with a black hair and a sunglasses, as he said, "Great, Eraserface is here. What are you doing here, villain? Didn't you A has already throw you in Tartarus because of your quirk?" As Izuku said, "Do you want me to beat your face again into Do you want me to beat your face again, or should you just shut up?" As Bakugo said, "Whatever, villain. I will gonna beat your ass." As Izuku said, "Sure thing, Bum Bum Boy." As Bakugo said, "What did you call me?" As after that, someone was about to touch Izuku from behind, but Izuku spin around and catch the person hand, as he said, "What are you?" As he look, it's a girl with the blonde hair, as I mean brown hair, as she said, uh, 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 I'm sorry for trying to touch you if it's making you feel uncomfortable." As Izuku said, "I'm sorry for catching your hand by accident. It's just my I not the one that he acting so normal." As Uraka, the girl said, "Well, you seem like it. My name is Uraraka. Nice to meet you. You saved me from that zero pointer, and um, you. I tried to say thank you, but um." As Izuku said, "Yeah, sorry about that. What I said in your face, it wasn't nice. I'm just saying if you want to become a better hero, then you should train more." As Uraka said, "Thank you. I will gonna do my hardest." As "Can you tell me your name?" As Izuku said, "Oh yes, where's my manners? My name is Izuku Midoriya. Nice to meet you." As she said, "Why are you wearing sunglasses exactly?" As after that, from the door, a guy in a sleeping bag said, "Well, if you are gonna make friends, if you are here to make friends, then how about you take your ass out of my class?" As Izuku said, "Ah, great, he's here." As Uraka looked behind, seeing a guy in a sleeping bag, as she said, "Who are you?" As the guy get out of his sleeping bag, said, "Who am I? Well, I'm Shota Aizawa, your new homeroom teacher, and I suggest you sit on your desk before I throw you in it." As Uraka said, "Okay, Mr. Aizawa." As Izuku said, "Hi." As Mr. Aizawa said, "Good morning." As he get past Izuku, and Izuku go to sit in his desk. And after that, Shota Aizawa said, "Well, student, I am Shota Aizawa, just as I said before. And today we will gonna do a quirk in a test. I forgot what is it again. A quirk apprehension test." As Ida said, "But aren't we gonna introduce ourselves?" As Shota Aizawa said, "I'm not gonna waste my time on a stupid thing. I have 3 days to make out of you idiots a good heroes into the future. And I will gonna use every second of it. So, how about you put this gym uniform and get out of here before I kick you out of here? As Izuku stand up and take the gym uniform out of Aizawa's hand, as Aizawa said, now that's a student that he appreciate the time. How about you go after him before I kick you out of the class? As everyone rushes at Shota to take their gym uniform and go into the changing room. And after that, in the changing room, Izuku's still wearing his sunglasses, but he takes this off and take his, clothes and put the gym uniform on. But before that happened, a kid with the red hair seeing Izuku as he said, "Whoa, hey man, what's your training? I'm sure it's so manly." As Izuku are now he's closing his eyes, trying not to look at the kid, as he said, yeah, normally training in the woods, punching trees, lifting rocks, swim in the river, things like that." As the red-haired kid said, "Yo, that's so manly of you. You don't go to the gym?" As Izuku said, "No, not at all. I never got into a gym because I see it's a waste of time and money. Training in the woods are a lot better. I have freedom to use my quirk and things like that." As the kid said, "Yo, that's so cool of you. My name is Kirishima. And you?" As Izuku said, "My name is Izuku Midoriya. Nice to meet you, Kirishima." As Kirishima said, "Well, can I ask you something?" As Izuku said, "Sure, what is it? Ask me." As Kirishima said, "Why are you closing your eyes, trying not to look at me?" As Izuku said, well, if you want me to see, let me." As before that happened, a boy with a purple hair said, "Hey guys, look what I find. A hole on the wall on the girls changing on the girls changing room." Uh, as Ida said, "You stop looking. If you don't look through that hole, give some respect into our our female classmates." As he said, "Try to stop me." As he goes to look through the wall, but before he goes to look through, a knife being thrown on the side of his head. As he said, as he looked behind, saying, "A red eyes like a blood that's right now, a bloodied red eyes like hell." As Izuku looking at him, saying, "If you just looked through that hole in the wall, next time I will gonna make sure to hit the target." As Mineta fall on the ground and said, I'm sorry, I won't do it again." As Kurishima said, hey Midoriya, why are you, as he, after getting in front of Izuku and looking at him, he see his bloody eyes. As he said, "What's wrong with your eyes?" As Izuku closing his eyes and said, sorry Kurishima, it's just my quirk. So annoying." As Kurishima said, "Well, why? What is it?" But it was... Anyway, if you have a secret that you don't want to tell me, it's okay. Every man have his secret, but that was so great of you." As Izuku said, "Thank you. Well, we should get out of here before Aizawa kick our asses." As Kurishima said, "Shit, I need to change." As he rushed into his own locker and start changing. And after that, everyone get out. As Shota Aizawa said, "Well, student," right now Izuku wearing his sunglasses. As he said, "Well, student, we will gonna, just as I said in the class, we will gonna do a quirk apprehension test to see what can you do with your quirks? As he look in his phone, seeing the files and the people that got in first place in the, you know, the entrance exam, as he said, Izuku Midoriya, come here and throw this ball. As Bakugo said, why that villain get first? Why that villain come in first? As Shota Aizawa said, well, he got the first place in the entrance exam, so he can throw the ball first. As Baku said, hell, you are lying. He got the first place in the entrance exam. I can't believe it. Villain like him taking the first place. As Kirishima said, why do you call him a villain? I mean, I don't understand why you talking like this, Bakugo. As Baku said, you shut up, hardening boy. As Aizawa said, can you shut up, Bakugo, or should I expel you out of UA? As Izuku said, Baku said, fine, whatever. And after that, Shota said, hey, Midoriya, are you gonna take off your sunglasses or what? As Mina said, well, why do he even wear sunglasses? As Izuku said, do you really want to know? As Mina said, well, yeah. As after that, Izuku take down his sunglasses and open his eyes, revealing his red eyes, but they are not very bloody, He's not that angry. As everyone looking at him, as Mina said, oh, so that's why you wear sunglasses? But it doesn't really seem for something that you would wear sunglasses for. As Shota Aizawa said, well, you don't understand. This kid quirk is called erase. He can erase anyone quirk that he look at. And why he is wearing sunglasses? Well, it's because he can't stop his quirk. As Mina said, you can erase quirk? As Izuku said, yeah, try using your quirk. As he looking like right now at Mina, as Mina tried to make some asses, as she said, I really can't use my quirk. That's so fun. That's so strong. As Izuku said, thank you, but can I already throw the ball? As Aizawa said, sure. Throw this as hard as you can. As Izuku said, okay. As he got hold of the ball and leaned back a little bit and throw the ball as hard as he could. And while he doing that, he tried to remember everything Bakugo did to him, from bullying and calling him a villain, to make himself getting a little bit angrier. So he got a little bit of extra power, and when he threw it, he got 655 meters. Point 2, as Aizawa said, impressive for someone that his quirk is not a very strong enhancement. As Izuku said, thank you. And after that, Bakugo in his mind saying, that villain! As he starts rushing at Izuku, as he said, die! But before Aizawa could kick in, Izuku looking at Bakugo with the very bloody eyes, as Bakugo suddenly fall on his face on the ground, and his face right now in front of Izuku's shoes, as Izuku said, how ironically, this is the second time that you tried to blow me up, and you end up right under my leg, under my feet. As Bakugo stand up and try to throw a punch, but before that happened, Aizawa using his scarf said, Katsuki Bakugo, enough already! As everyone looking at him, Aizawa seeing his hair start flying and or you can say levitating, and his eyes are red, as him, Ida said, "What the? Wait, I heard about this. You are must be the hero, the eraser hero, Eraserhead. Isn't that right?" As Aizawa said, "Well, I didn't think that someone will gonna know about me here except Midoriya. But anyways," as Mina said, "Wait, you have a race? Are you his father?" As Izuku said, "No, I just got lucky and got the same quirk as him." As Mina said, "Is that true? Because you two have the same quirk." As Aizawa said, "He's not my son. He's just another student in UA in my class, and just like all of you, I can expel him whenever I want. But that doesn't mean I will gonna expel someone with a lots of potential in him." As after that, Bakugo being left, Aizawa leave Bakugo as he said, "Well, Bakugo, if you really want to throw the ball, how about you come here and throw it?" As after that, he said, "Fine." As he get another ball and he said, "Get out of my way, villain." As Izuku said, "Sure thing, explosion boy." As Izuku leave him and wear his sunglasses again. As Bakugo after that getting the hold of the ball and throw it, and this guy saying "Die" as the balls being fly, and Aizawa said in his meter saying 759 meters. Good. As Baku said, "See that? That's the true power. That's the true hero power, you villain." As Izuku said, yeah, whatever. After that, the other tests go the same, but jumping jumping is the same and things like that. But Izuku in the race, the 15-meter dash or something, he goes against Bakugo, as Bakugo said, "Now I'm gonna beat your ass." As Izuku take down his sunglasses and look in front of him, and when Aizawa gave them the chance to run, Izuku look at Bakugo, which making Bakugo lose his quirk, and he starts spam, spamming into the finish line. And after that, Bakugo get angry on that, saying, "You villain, deleting my quirk, asshole! Who gave you the right to delete it?" As Izuku said, "Well, Mr. Aizawa told us that we can use our quirk as much as we want in this apprehension test, so I just played smart." And after that, after all the the tests are done, Aizawa said, "Well, student, this is the board, the people that come in first places." As everyone see it, they see Izuku Midoriya in fourth place, and fifth place is Bakugo. As Bakugo said, I am in fifth. I am in the 5th place. How that even possible? And this villain in the 4th place." As Bakugo said, "I'm not gonna accept that. Fight me here and now." As Aizawa got hold of him using his scarf, as he said, "Shut the hell up, Bakugo. You are angering me so much, and this is just the first day on the UA. Do you really want to be expelled that much? If you haven't a lots of potential in you of becoming a good hero, I would have already kicked you out of here." As Baku said, "Whatever." As Eraserhead leave him and said, "Well, student, uh, let's go back into the class." And after everyone go back into the class and getting a normal school day, Izuku leave the school with the you know, getting ready to leave the school as Oraka said, "Hey, Midoriya, or your name is Deku, right?" As Izuku said, "Deku, who told you that?" As Uraka said, "Well, I heard Bakugo calling you that. Is that your nickname or something?" As Izuku said, "That's an insult from him, meaning that I am worthless." As Uraka bowed in front of him, saying, I'm sorry for if I meant anything. I didn't really know what this mean." As Izuku said, "No problem. Now, what do you want?" As Uraka said, "Well, do you want to walk into the house? Walk together?" As Izuku said, "Well, I will love you to, sure, but before that," Shota Aizawa said, "Everyone, you can leave now, but Midoriya, you are staying here." As everyone look at Midoriya, and they start mumbling to themselves, saying, "Is he gonna kill him or something?" As Shota Aizawa said, why are you all mumblings? Are you gonna leave or should I kick you out of here?" As everyone leave, and Izuku stay behind saying, "Well, Oraka, looks like I can't go with you, sorry." As she said, "It's fine, but please stay alive." As Izuku said, "I will." After that, everyone leave. Shota Aizawa said, "Well, Midoriya, you did good on this test today, and I'm sure you know why did I make everyone leave and left you behind here." As he said, "Yeah, you want to talk with me about something, isn't that right?" As Aizawa said, "Yes. I want to teach you how to use my scarf." As Izuku said, and why?" As Aizawa said, "Well, you have the same quirk as me, maybe a little bit better, but to be honest, I need someone to teach him my tricks, and since you are the closest one that have a similar quirk into mine, I think that you would be a good one." As Izuku said, Well, of course I will gonna accept that." As Aizawa said, "Well then, come with me." And after that, Izuku and Eraserhead got into a little, training area, and and there behind a UA, as All Might are come also to watch what happened. As after that, Aizawa said, "Well, Midoriya, I got another scarf. I made an agency may make another one of these scarf. It's made out of the same material as mine, and it can't be cut off or burned or anything. So it will be, you don't have to be scared of it's getting ripped off or something." As Izuku said, thank you." And after that, Aizawa gave him the scarf, and Izuku putting it around his neck, saying, "Are you really always wearing it?" As Aizawa said, "What's wrong with it?" And as Izuku said, "It's just so hot. It's just so hot now. As you know, I don't really think I will gonna always wear it around my neck." As Izuku take down the scarf from his neck and start ripping it around his arms, as he said, "That's better." As Aizawa said, you are liking it. Why don't you want it on your neck?" As Izuku said, "Well, first of all, it's so hot wearing it, and second of all, I think this is suited me a lot better on my hands." And Izuku are wrapping it around his arms and inside his fist. You know how it's like, people when they wrap a little whatever. Let's continue. As Aizawa said, "Well then, let's start training." As in the night, Izuku, first of all, he called his mom telling him that his new uh, teacher want to teach him a little bit of things, then he won't come back. He will kinda come back later in the night. As his mom agreed to that, and he starts training with Aizawa in the night, and he just falling on his face again and again with the scarf on his hand, but he's starting to get hold of it. As Izuku said, how much years did you was needed to learn to use your scarf? As Aizawa said, well, 60 years in total. As Izuku said, that's too much. As Aizawa said, well, I needed 6 years because I didn't have anyone to teach me, but the thing right now is different with you. As Izuku said, thank you. And after they end from training, All Might, that he's watching them from far away, he said, well, Midoriya, looks like you are learning so fast, huh? As he's right now in his small might form. As Izuku said, oh, All Might, how are you? And why are you here? As All Might said, well, I want an answer. Do you want one for all or not? As Izuku looking down and starts scratching the back of his neck, saying, well, All Might, your quirk is great and all, but I have to deny it. As Aizawa and All Might getting a little bit surprised, as Aizawa said, and why don't you deny it? I mean, it's not every day that you get the chance to get a new quirk, and not any quirk, the quirk of the number one hero. As Izuku said, well, as All Might said, it's will gonna enhance my own quirk, and I am scared of that because I already can't control it, and that's why I'm wearing sunglasses. Just my quirk is already can erase someone quirk for a very long time if I really wanted it to, but I'm scared that if I gets one for all, even the sunglasses won't no longer help me. This will just gonna be so annoying. As All Might and Aizawa understand, as All Might said, well then, Midoriya, good. I th- to be honest, I'm quite sad because you didn't accept it, but I can understand your reasons. Then I think I will gonna give it into the other one. As Izuku said, well, sorry, All Might, but this more power with already a power that I can't control, it may be gonna making me more dangerous than more strong and heroic. And after that, Aizawa said, okay, are you gonna just mumbling or are you gonna train? As Izuku said, yes, Mr. Aizawa. As they start training, and when the hour is getting into 12 o'clock in the night, Aizawa said, well, I think this is enough. You can go back to your house. As Izuku said, thank you, Mr. Aizawa. Goodbye. As Aizawa tell him goodbye. And after that, Izuku starts walking out of UA in the middle of the night. As everything is quiet, quiet and dark. As he just walking, he taking out his sunglasses because it's dark. How are you gonna see a thing in the dark, and even you wearing a sunglasses? And when he take it, his eyes are basically glowing in the middle of the night. As Izuku just walking, and he looking inside an alleyway, as he see a couple of three goons trying to harassinate a girl. As the guy said, well, hey little girl. As the girl said, please leave me alone, I don't want anything. As the guy said, too bad, because we want to have a little of fun. As Izuku looking at this getting angry, as he said, hey, assholes. As the three guys look at Izuku, as they say, what do you want right now? Don't you see that we're trying to have a little bit of fun? As Izuku said, fun? Then how about I show you something fun? As he start using the scarf of Aizawa, that he's right now wrapped it around his head. The scarf started levitating over his hand a little bit, as he said, "If you're not gonna leave that girl, then I will gonna kick your asses." As the three goons start laughing, saying, "Oh, what are you gonna do, kid? You're just a kid with the weird eyes." As Izuku said, "Oh, you mean this? Well, let's see who you have weird eyes." As he closes his eyes and opens again, making a shockwave. It's basically like hockey, to be honest with you. I said it in the first part and I will gonna say it again. It's like hockey, sending a shockwave, making everyone a little bit scared of him, but they, you know, doesn't get that scared, as they say, uh, whatever, kid, your funeral. As those guys are, all of them have a fire quirk. Someone have breathing quirk, and someone can shoot it out of his hand, and the other one can breathe fire. Nothing too important, as they start try to use their quirk, as they can do it. As after that, the guy said, "Oh, what? Where's my our quirks? What did you do, kid?" As Izuku smiled in the middle of the dark with the glowing red eyes, as he said, "Oh, look at you. You are right now looking like a little ducks that don't know how to swim in the river. Using don't don't know how to use your quirk anymore. They just disappeared forever." As he's right now lying at them, as they say, you deleted our quirks? Who are you, a villain?" As Izuku said, "Yes, and a very dangerous one. A very, very dangerous one. Heroes don't tell people about me because they just doesn't want to tell people about a kid that's running around the street deleting everyone quirk that he look at." As the guy starts getting chilled down their spines, as they say, "Please leave us alone. We are leaving." As Izuku said, "Oh, you're not leaving until I beat you." As Izuku throw his scarf on the guys, wrapping it around two of them, making each other hit their heads together, and the third one tried to run away, but Izuku running at him and then give him a kick in his head, knocking them three out. As he said, "Well, that taken care of." As the girl right now on the ground saying, "Please don't hurt me." As Izuku said, "I'm not gonna hurt you. Why would I do that?" As the girl said, "But aren't you a villain?" As Izuku said, "That was just a lie to make them scared of me. I'm actually training to become a hero." As the girl said, well, thank you." As Izuku said, "Well, my name is Midoriya. What is yours?" As she said, my name is Himiko Toga. Nice to meet you, and thank you for saving me." As Izuku said, "Well, no problem. Where are you gonna go now? It's in the middle of the night. Do you have any place to go?" As she said, "Yes, I have a house, but it's a little bit far off here." As Izuku said, "Well, let me get you there because it's dangerous out here in the night." As Toga said, "Well, if it's dangerous, why do you want to help me?" As Izuku said, why do I need a reason to help someone that he need help?" As Toga is surprised by this answer and blushes a little bit, as she said, "Thank you. Well, my house," as she telling told him about where is her house is, as he said, "Oh, I know a shortcut." As Toga said, "You know a shortcut?" As they start walking and talking, as he said, "Yeah, I know. I mean, I know this streets like the back of my hands. I was sometime just walking in the night because, to be honest, I love walking in the night." As Toga said, "Well, that's weird, but if it wasn't for your weird habit of walking in the night, I would have been," as Izuku said, "don't say it. I know it might be hard on you, but anyways, what is your quirk?" As uh, Toga gets a little bit scared of telling him his quirk, as she said, "Well, if I told you your quirk, are you gonna stay still nice?" As Izuku said, "Oh, let me guess. You think your quirk is villainous, right? And everyone told you that you are a villain and you should just die and kill yourself and start bullying you." As Toga are just surprised of this answer, as she said, "How do you know all that things?" As Izuku said, "Just look at my eyes. They are red as blood." As Toga, looking at his eyes, blushes a little bit, but she said, "Well, that might be right, but they are actually kinda cute." As Izuku gets surprised by this answer, as he said, "Well, this is the first one that anyone told me that my eyes are cute." As uh, Toga said, "But that's actually true. I mean, sure, it looks scary, but it's quite cute." As Izuku said, "Thank you for this. Well, anyway, what is your quirk?" As Toga said, "Well, it's called blood copy. Anyone that I drink his blood, I can turn into him." As Izuku said, seriously? That's a good quirk." As she said, "What? Do you really think that's a good quirk?" She is surprised because this is the first one that anyone praising her for her quirk. As he said, "Yeah, that's a very good quirk. You can basically infilt- infiltrate a lots of, you know, villain organization if you become a hero and help a lots of people with it." As Toga just listening at Izuku telling her all the way that she could use her quirk, and after that she said, "Thank you, but what's your quirk?" As Izuku telling her about his quirk, erase the ability to erase anyone quirk, but he was lying about the part of forever, and he can't control it right now. As he said, "Well, I can't control it, and right now I'm looking at you, so your quirk is erased right now." As she said, seriously?" As Izuku said, "Yeah. Why don't you try it?" As she said, "Well, okay." As Izuku take a little pencil out of his bag and, you know, make a little scratch in his hand, as he said, "Well, uh, here." As he gave a little bit of blood into Toga, as Toga drink it, and she tried to transform, but she said, "I can't transform. That's actually working. It's very good. You have a very strong quirk." As Izuku said, "Thank you. Well, are you trying to become a hero? Because I think that you're gonna become a great hero." As Toga said, "Well, the entrance exam of UA has already ended, but I don't think that I can become a hero." As Izuku said, "You can become a great hero. Well, how about that? I can help you to get placed in UA." As Toga said, "Seriously? And why would you do that? I mean, you just met me and you are suddenly so nice and telling me that my quirk is good, and right now you're just offering me a place in the best school at in Japan." As Izuku said, "Your quirk is good, so I think you will gonna become a great hero, and my teacher Aizawa, he will gonna agree to that, I'm sure." As she said, "Thank you, but Are you really sure of that? Um, maybe they will gonna think that bad things about you. As Izuku said, don't worry about it. But I, I will need your number to tell my miss teacher about you. As you know her, Toga said, okay. As they exchanged numbers, and after that, Izuku helping her to get into her house. As he said, well, is this your house? As Toga said, yeah. Thank you for everything. Um, I didn't know your name. As Izuku said, oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Is Midoriya. Izuku Midoriya. Nice to meet you. As she said, it's nice to meet you, Izuku Midoriya, and smile at him, and shake their hand together, and then Izuku leave. After that, he go back to his house. As he opened the door, and he said, Mom, I'm home. And once he opened the door, a pan, you know, a, a pan being thrown at his face, as he said, ouch, Mom, why is that? As Inko said, it's 1 o'clock in the night, and you didn't come back. I know you told me that you are gonna get late, but not this much. As Izuku said, sorry, Mom, I got involved with some people that tried to assassinate a girl. As Inko said, oh, a girl? What's her name? As she smiled at Izuku. As Izuku said, why are you smiling? As Inko said, oh, nothing. It's just my son is just walking in the night, saving girls from getting harassed by some villains. As Izuku said, Mom, it's stop thinking like that. As Inko said, sure thing, whatever. But do you know her name? As Izuku said, well, her name is Himiko Toga. As Inko said, such a nice name. Well, you should, I would have given you your dinner, but since you got late, you will gonna sleep without dinner for tonight as a punishment for you. As Izuku said, okay, Mom. And after that, and the next day in UA, Izuku getting ready to leave, and after that, he said, okay, Mom, I'm leaving. As Izuku said, okay. No, I mean, Inko said, okay, honey, have a nice day at UA. As Izuku leave. And in the next day, he got into the class as Aizawa said, well, student, today we are gonna train in a different way. As the students in Uraka said, a different way? What do you mean by that? As after that, Aizawa said, well, today I'm not gonna teach you, but someone else will gonna do. As after that, they hear a very strong steps in the hallway, and the door get bust open as a guy with a blonde hair said, I am here, coming through the door like a normal person. As everyone getting excited as they say, wow, it's All Might, the number one hero. He will gonna actually teach us? That's so cool. As Izuku trying not to look at All Might. Aizawa looking at Izuku trying not to look at All Might as he understand why is he doing this, as he said, huh, smart kid. And Izuku getting sunglasses out of his bag to not look at All Might. As after that, All Might said, well, student, today I will gonna teach you. And we will gonna get an exam for today. As everyone get a little bit sad. As All Might said, don't worry, I'm not Aizawa. I won't gonna expel you just because you failed the exam. As everyone gets a little bit relief. As Tenya Ida said, well, what kind of exam that is, Mr. All Might? As All Might said, well, it's a heroes versus villains exam. And You will gonna fight against each other, as Kirishima said, fight against each other. Um, but where and when? As All Might said, well, I will gonna tell you that later, but first of all, you need to wear your hero outfit. As he pressed on a button and the walls start opening, revealing everyone hero outfit. Izuku hero outfit is not like Aizawa exactly. He's wearing a black t-shirt with no sleeve, or how can I say it? His t-shirt, hoodie jacket with a short sleeves. As he, wait a second, guys. His hero outfit, it's like Ken Kaneki outfit, but you know, a t-shirt with a long sleeve and a hoodie jacket with the short ones, and he wrapping around his arms the Aizawa scarf to use it in the fight, and he wears Aizawa the same goggles that he wears, but it's have a special glass inside of it. It's like Cyclop, Cyclop, how from the X-Men's he have something to protect his eyes, and he can make the glass go down so he can shoot lasers, things like that. So this is his hero outfit without Ken Kaneki mask. Of course, he's not Ken. And we continue as everyone gets ready get outside to go into the exam area. Izuku being the last one. Everyone seeing Izuku get out of the shadows, wearing a t-shirt with a long sleeve wrapping around his hands a little bit. You can say bandages, but is like Aizawa scarf, and wearing yellow goggles with a hoodie jacket with a short sleeve. As Uraka come to him saying, "Hey, Midoriya," as Izuku said, yes, Uraka. Uraka said, "You have a nice hero outfit. It's reminding me of Aizawa. Is he your mentor or the person that you must admire?" As he said, "Yeah, that's actually true." As Kirishima come from behind saying, "Yo, Izu bro, you have a, you have a very great hero outfit, but don't you think it's quite too dark?" As Izuku said, "Well, I am more of you can say running in the night. I doesn't like to go in a very in a lots places that a lots of people in, because that will just you know making me wear my sunglasses, and sometimes it's annoying. I rather to keep them down." As Kurishima said, "Okay, easy bro, whatever, but good hero outfit." As Izuku said, "Yeah, you also. It doesn't seem that have that much, but it's understandable since your quirk is hardening." As Kirishima said, "Thank you." And after that, All Might said, "Student, can I get your focus here for a minute?" As everyone focused as All Might said, "Well, someone, a lots of people saying the clothes make the pros, and right now, kids, you're looking like true heroes." As he explained the hero versus villains exam, and after he done, he said, "Well, the first team will be Izuku Midoriya and um give me a minute, guys. The first round will be Izuku Midoriya against with Momoya Iruzo against Bakugo and Kurishima." As Baku said, "Yes, finally I have a chance to beat the shit out of that villain." As All Might continues saying, "Well, Izuku, young Midoriya, Messiah Iruzu, you shall be the villains of this exam, and you shall protect the bomb, while Kirishima and Bakugo will gonna try to come in and capture you or touch the bomb. So get ready. As Izuku and her Momo gets into the building, as Momo said, "Well, what's the plan?" As Izuku said, "Okay, I will gonna come down into the third floor. Bakugo will gonna of course attack me because he hate me so much. I will gonna delete his quirk and then capture him, while you will gonna put traps in the from the fourth into the fifth floor." As she said, okay, but don't you need any help?" As he said, "Well, do you have any suggestion? I'm ready to hear anything that you have that might make my plan even better." As Momo said, yeah, I have." As Izuku said, "What is it?" As Momo telling him that, give me a second. She told him that, we're gonna cover the bomb in, I will gonna try to cover the bomb by some materials so they can't touch it so easy. As Izuku said, that's good idea. Do it. But if you are gonna lose all your energy on the bomb, don't do it. Try to throw traps around the fourth floor and the fifth one. Okay, as Momo said, okay. After that, Izuku goes down to the third floor. Out there, Kirishima said, "Well, Bakugo, what is the plan?" As Bakugo said, "I'm gonna get there and beat the shit out of that villain." As Kirishima said, "Why are you calling him a villain?" As Buck said, "Because he deleted my quirk when I was a child. I thought that I just lost it because of him, and I'm gonna beat him right now. And it's my revenge to take upon him after what he did to me in the last day of middle school." As Kirishima said, "Well, we need a plan, you know." As Baku said, "Plan? Okay. I will gonna blow the shit out of him, and you will gonna go and touch the bomb. Understand?" As Kirishima said, "Okay, whatever. It's good enough." After that, Izuku get down into the third floor, wearing his hero costume and his goggles, the same goggles at just as Eraserhead. And after that, he sees Bakugo and Kirishima. As Izuku said, well, look at that. Kirishima and Explosion Child." As Bakugo said, "What did you just called me, asshole?" As Izuku said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean child. I was mean explosion puppy." As Baku getting angrier and angrier, going to throw an explosion at Izuku, and Izuku just like Cyclops, opened the little glasses inside his goggles to be able to use his quirk. As he look at Bakugo using his quirk, saying, whatever, I don't need my quirk to beat the living shit out of you." As he go to attack Izuku dodging his right hook and tried to punch him in the stomach, but Bakugo expected that, so he, using his left hand, protect his stomach and got hold of Izuku's hand. And after that, he throw him at Kirishima. Kirishima, using his hardening quirk, was about to punch Izuku, but Izuku, looking at him, deleting his quirk, and then jump above his head and using his scarf around his hand, making Kirishima hit himself in his face. As Kirishima said, "Ouch, my face. This is not so nice from you, Izubro." As Izuku said, "Shut up, heroes. I will gonna end you right here. If you want to fight me, then you have already chosen death. As Kurishima said, what are you talking about? As Izuku starts running at him and punch him in the stomach and said, whispering into his ears, I'm just acting like a villain, you know? This is villain versus heroes exam, so just go with me. As Kirishima fall on the ground, Bakugo try gets again to running at Izuku to punch him in the face, but Izuku dodging this attack and jump and go into his right side, and then got hold of Bakugo hand and throw him above his head and into the ground behind him. And then he jump at Bakugo and jump at his stomach with his legs as Bakugo spilled out of blood out of his mouth. As in the the camera room, everyone said that's too harsh. All Might Izuku is really not holding back, as All Might in his mind saying, young Midoriya, I can understand why you're doing this, but this is just too much, don't you think? As All Might are hesitating to stop the match, and Izuku, after stepping inside Bakugo, stomach, using his scarf, wrap it around his leg, and said, "Oh, I really wanted to do this from a very long time." As he starts using his scarf and get Bakugo, you know, uh, how can I say it? Start dragging. Wait a second, guys. Yeah, just as I was saying, he starts dragging him into the window of the third floor, as Kirishima are trying to stop Izuku, but Bakugo told him, "Get out of here and go into the bomb. I'm gonna take care of this." As Kirishima said, "Okay." As he leave Bakugo, Bakugo tried to stand up and throw explosion at Izuku's face. Izuku wasn't looking at Bakugo, which Bakugo punching him in his back head, throwing him on the ground, taking off the scarf from around his leg. As after that, he go to throw a punch, but Izuku catching the punch and throw him back away from him. As Bakugo said, "That's enough. If only I had my quirk." As after that, he hearing a sound peeping out of his gauntlet, as he said, "Well, look at that." As Izuku said, "What are you talking about?" As Baku said, "Do you see this gauntlet? They were collecting my sweat all around this fight, and now they are full, and they are ready to shoot at you. And I don't need my quirk in my body to use it." Which his sweat are right now, and the gauntlet will gonna give it a little bit of spark, a little bit of sparkling light to make it explode, which is will not be make Izuku quirk won't be able to delete that. As All Might said, "Young Bakugo, don't do that. If you did it, then he will die." As Baku said, "Not if he dodges it." As he was about to pull the pin out of his gauntlet, but Izuku throwing his scarf before Bakugo was able to pull shoot the gauntlet. Izuku using his scarf wrapped around his gauntlet and making him shoot at the ground under his feet, which make a big explosion under Bakugo legs. As All Might said, "Young Bakugo, are you okay?" As after that, they see Bakugo on the ground, injured, so injured, but not something that he will gonna kill him. As Izuku said, well, you may look at the camera, said, you maybe need to give him some medical attention, as All Might said in the mic, Katsuki Bakugo are out of the fight. After that, Momo hearing this, she said, okay, one down, two to go. As Kirishima come while Momo are trying to make some, you know, traps. She made some for Kirishima, knowing that Bakugo will gonna go after Izuku. As he starts moving around, and suddenly a metal pipe hitting him on the head. He was able to hardening before it's being hit. As he looked behind, saying Momo, as he said, huh, Momo, what are you doing here? As Momo said, well, of course I'm protecting the bomb. As he said, well, we will see about that. As he hardening his body after Izuku quirk effect being stopped at him, he go to throw a punch, but uh, her Momo made a breathing mask. As Kirishima said, why are you wearing a breathing mask? As she starts uh, making the area, throwing smoke bombs, which is not really smoke bomb. It's like a sleeping gas. As Kirishima said, what are these? As he starts breathing, as he tried to cover his mouth, saying, I can't, I does, as he tried to go to throw, to take the mask out of, her Momo face, but Momo dodging his attack and using the metal pipe hitting him in the stomach. And uh, a little information that you might doesn't know about Kirishima quirk. If he can't breathe, he can't use it. He can't hardening his body without an oxygen. That's actually an information that I myself didn't know, but well, the more you know. As Kirishima being hit in his stomach, making him open his mouth and start breathing, and after that he fall on the ground unconscious. As Momo wrap the capture tape around his arms, as All Might said, the hero team are out. The villain team wins. As after that, Izuku come into the room, saying, Momo capturing Kirishima, as he said, nice job. As he gets his fist in front of him to, bump fists together. As Momo said, yes, good job. As she bump Izuku fist. And after that, they get out of there. And everything else go as can, but of course the people that are in different teams. After that, after the end of the class, the day of the school ended. Eraserhead called for Izuku to try train him again for the night, as Izuku always call his mom and telling her that he will gonna get late. After that, while they're training, Izuku said, Mr. Aizawa, as Aizawa said, what is it, Midoriya? As he said, I was, when last night when I was going back to my house, as Eraserhead said, yes. Izuku continue, saying, well, I got involved with 3 goons that tried to harassate a girl. As he said, did you take care of them? As Izuku said, yes. And that girl called herself Himiko Toga. She have a very interesting quirk, but she doesn't. She wanted, as she once told me that she wanted to become a hero, but since everyone was calling her quirk villainous and she just need to die, she just left that dream. As Eraserhead said, and let me think, let me guess. You want to show her to me, so I give my, you know, give her a chance to get into UA, isn't that right? As Izuku said, well, yeah, her quirk is so uh, good for stealth missions. As Izuku tell him about her quirk and how it is work, as Eraser has said, I can understand how people can see this as villainous, but how about you tomorrow show me get that girl with you into UA and maybe I can see what can I do. As Izuku said, thank you, Mr. Aizawa. As Aizawa said, well, are you gonna train or should I make you train? As Izuku said, yes, of course. As Hiko continued to use his scarf, and after a little bit, going back to his house. And this is where I'm gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget like, subscribe, comment down below. What do you think of this part? And what do you think that will gonna happen in the next part? Well, I have nothing more to say than Severed was here.